I'll just move this twig out of the way because I want to put some soil here. Just move it up there. Got my grapper on, and now I'm getting the grading bucket because that's better for moving soft soil, which is what we're going to do up the top here. So getting down onto where we're removing soil to change the soil level, so it's eventually be level with our kitchen door. Taking the dumper up there, we're going to put the soil into the dumper, obviously, to bring it down. So this is a pile of sandy soil that's been here for a while. It's not really topsoil, it's got very little organic matter in, hopefully. So we're going to put it in the dumper and take it down. The slope's quite steep up here, so I have to be quite careful. Here we go. That's where we put the first load. That's for building the ramp. I'm moving some soil now to try and make the area more level, so it's easier to work with both the machines and safer. It wobbles about if it's not level and flat. Nobody wants to be working in a digger that's wobbling about. This is the sand. It's pretty fine sand. If you squeeze it in your hand, it has a bit of structure, but not much. So I'm taking it down here, and I'm going to mix it with some of that more clay soil that we've dug out of where the swimming pool was. I think they'll complement each other and make a soil that compacts well. Just still trying to level the patch where I'm working out, so I don't get seasick wobbling about. Yeah, that's a bit flatter. I'll make it easier. Tipping that load next to where we're building the ramp. Decided to bring the dumper around the other direction because I can't see how I can turn to get into that space any other way. So generally you go backwards down steep hills and forwards up steep hills, but getting the logistics so we can load it and do that isn't possible here. So we've been proceeding cautiously and feeling our way. You wouldn't want to do an emergency stop on a steep downhill going forwards with a full load. So we're not going to do that. Off we go. You can see we're digging into another layer here. We've been getting just sand, which I assume has washed down onto the site over a long period of time off the heathland, but we're getting into a more yellowish coloured soil, which we sort of think of as an original geological layer. Get these bits of root out of the way. we go for another load. Actually, I need to do a bit of levelling out so that when the dumper comes back, it sits nice and flat. I'm digging right by the top of the old steps here. I think that was a bit of a step, went down with the soil. Try and get this tree stump out. Pull this one out first, I think, make it easier. Now perhaps it'll come out. Give it a tug, give it a tug. Check my phone, give it a bit more of a tug. There we go. Checking the site, make sure nothing untoward's happening. There's no sort of sign of it slipping down the hill or anything. We're keeping away from the edge, but it's always good to be informed about what the soil's doing, how strong it's looking. So this is a selected load with no organic material in, just the sort of subsoil and sand. So that's supposed to be going on that pile in the background for going back in the where we've dug the swimming pool out. Down I go, and I forgot, and I dumped it on the other pile by where we're building the ramp. I was going to go home, but oh well. I just have to get another load because I want 2 loads by the swimming pool. You can see the different layers quite clearly here. You can see some is orange, some is light brown, sandy, a light brown colour, and the subsoil is quite dark. But here there's a layer of very dark soil, which was quite interesting because that looks to me as if it's on ground that hasn't been disturbed for a huge amount of time, like a geological amount of time. You have a look at this. It looks as if it's been in a fire to me. I think it's evidence of there being a fire here maybe thousands, tens of thousands of years ago, which I thought was quite interesting. So there are my piles. The one by where we're building the ramp, and the other one by where we're filling in the hole. Down we go, and we're going to mix this soil together. I think the sand from the top mixed with the material that came out of the swimming pool probably have a better structure if they're mixed together. The sand's a bit too sandy and the other stuff's maybe a little bit too silty.